Coach, with last week's results, you officially clinched a spot in the MAC tourney. You're now in season 3, obviously. You've made big strides each season. You mentioned how you wanted to create a program that expects to be in these type of positions. What is your mindset as the team prepares for the MAC tourney, especially, potentially being favorites this year around?
Yeah, I think I think we were 8 seed year one, 7 seed year two. Got a chance. I think if we win this game on Saturday, I think bare minimum would be 2 seed. So it's shown growth, but again, I think when you get to Cleveland, anybody can beat anybody in one game setting, right? That's what makes college basketball so exciting to watch. Whether it's all the conference tournaments, the NCAA tournament. Anybody like it's different than the NBA. NBA you have 7 game series. Usually the best team's going to win. But in a one game setting, anybody can beat anybody. It's what makes it exciting to watch. Why fans love to watch. There's always those Cinderella stories in the NCAA tournament. So again, we're just trying to take it one game at a time, one day at a time. Practice the right way, peak at the right time, man. Just take advantage of our opportunities, man. Our guys have put ourselves in a pretty good position here, but we got to make sure we finish the race.
You've mentioned how important, having a good home crowd is and just, creating a culture in that sense. Not sure if you're aware of this, but with that last home victory, you set a new record for the most consecutive home wins in a single season. You know, how just important is it? How does that represent how important it is having fans here and just having, an identity and starting to establish that culture that you've just touched on so many times?
Yeah, the only way I think you can give yourself a chance to be successful, not just basketball, any sport is, at the collegiate level, is you got to be able to protect home court. And in order to do that, we need fans to be here. We need energy. Need to make it a hard place to play. Um, there's a lot that goes into that, right? I mean, you got to put a good product out there on the court. Um, Facilities are important. Marketing's important. There's a lot that goes into it. The experience that you give a young man or a young lady, a student here at Miami, when you get a chance to get them in here, man, is everything. So our students have been awesome this year. Big significant growth from where it was the last 2 years, but I'll just mention their first names. Patty and Adam were my 2 guys over the last couple of years. Tried to start up the student section, and I think at times it's a daunting task. And I told them this: it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be, hey, we try for a couple of days and all of a sudden it looks like Duke, right? It's going to takes time to build it, and they deserve a lot of credit to kind of started it, in a lot of ways. And I appreciate them for that. And because I told them they could leave a legacy, it's something that's way bigger than them, right? That can last forever. And I think our marketing's been awesome this year. We really try to make an effort to connect with students, get them in here, give them a great experience, give them a watch, whether it's in-game experience, and then also put a good product out there. And I think it's all kind of melting pot, all kind of in one. I think it's all heading in the right direction, and it helps us win at home.
You secured a huge overtime win against Kent State on national TV last week. There was numerous times late in the game where you guys just made a clutch play. If I remember off the top of my head, you guys were down about 7 with a little bit over 2 minutes left, in that second half. What is it like to see your guys execute? Ian Elmer hitting big threes, huge block to end the game. Pete hitting a bank three, making his free throws. As a coach, how fulfilling is it to see your team execute at the level that you expect?
Yeah, I think that prepares you for March, because that's what happens in those tournaments, right? It's gonna be a lot of close games, one possession games, and do you have the ability to handle adversity? Things weren't going our way, right? It's 2:41 left in the game. I called a timeout, and I'll be honest, I didn't love our huddle initially, and I kind of challenged our group, and I started hearing Suter talking like, "Hey man, we got to believe, because there's a lot of time. 2:41 in basketball is an eternity, and our guys just stuck with it. Just do your job. You don't have to put on the cape and go Superman, try to do more than you should. You also can't shrivel up and crawl in a hole, right? You just got to do your job, be who you are every single possession throughout the whole game, and good things will happen. And we did that down the stretch against Kent State.
Now, moving on to this most recent game that we played against Northern Illinois at home, from start to finish, I'd say, probably seemed to be our most full, complete effort. Now, I feel like you've mentioned numerous times, not being bored with success. How content were you with the guys, and how prepared they were, to show up and in a game where it could be
Yeah,
a little bit edgy with, you don't want to overlook your opponent, right? A
yeah,
game where you could give one, but you guys, as a whole, showed up that night.
yeah. We knew. Listen, Northern Coach Burno's done a really good job of keeping those guys playing hard, sticking together. You can tell. Um, they haven't gotten the result Northern Illinois that they've wanted, but I will tell you, man, they've been in every single game. They really have. A lot of those games could have went. They're unfortunate in some ways. It could have went the other direction where they could have gotten several wins. And I told our guys, listen, they're going to be ready to play. He's going to have them playing hard. I thought we obviously got off to a great start. All of a sudden, you look up there and it's 14-0. It's like, man, okay, we got off to a great start, but now can we continue to push that pedal down, right? And because Northern Illinois had been in those positions before. They were down by, I want to say, 20 against Toledo at Toledo, and all of a sudden it's a one possession game with about a minute and a half to go. Um, so that's what I told the guys at halftime. Don't think that, Coach Burner's going to have those guys playing hard. They're going to play hard. They're going to continue to play, and that's what they do. And I thought our guys still had that mature approach to them. Second half, I thought we were still able to execute. I thought our ball was really moving. We played unselfish basketball. We played the right way.
You now prepare for an away contest against Ohio. Last away victory for Miami came in 2011. Obviously, we had a big home victory earlier this season. What are you expecting that environment to be like, and what are your keys to victory?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for our team, man. Anytime you go away, it's almost, we treat it like a war, man. It's like you're going outside the wire, right? It's going to be a great environment. I'm anticipating. It'll be a lot of fun. These are the games you work for, right? Or these moments. Embrace it, and our guys have earned that. They have. We've played in some tough environments this year, which hopefully will prepare us for this game on Saturday. But they're really good. I think Coach Bowles has them playing really well, as he always does. Got a lot of respect for their program. They play the right way. Their guards are phenomenal. We got to make sure we keep those guys in check. Mitchell, who kills us every single time. He's one of the best two-way players in the league. Pavletsky is relentless at getting to the rim. And you got A.J. Brown and A.J. Clayton. You got all these guys that could shoot the ball. I think it starts with transition defense. I think that's the biggest key in the game. Can we make them run half-court offense? And then I would say number two, can we keep them off the foul line, right? I thought game one when we played them, that's how they got back into the game. They were able to draw a lot of fouls, get to the free throw line, slow the game down a little bit in that way when we had the lead, and they crawled back into it. Then I'd say the third thing is, can we be 11 or less turnovers, right? When we take care of the ball, our effective field goal percentage is so gosh darn good. We have so many different guys that can score it, and we got an unselfish group. Our guys make the right basketball plays. So when we're at 11 or less, man, we usually put ourselves in a position to win.